Come back, other observers, taking 2 seconds too long to load, completely ruining that introduction, but that's okay, guys. Here we are in the finals of the ZOTAC European Cup. Big shout out to Flamga for casting the majority of this with Ord, who is my current co-caster, and spawning here in the upper right corner of this map. This old map that's no more! It is Acer.Nerchio.
And in the lower left-hand corner, the other Zerg player in this best-of-5 finals, it is in the blue, from NvO.Chators.
There's this Pokemon move called Chatter. That's all I can think about watching this guy, reading his name. And like, I'm purposely trying to pronounce it like Chators or something different so that I don't think about that at all. But here we are, Ord.
Chatter.
Well, Ord, here we are with a Zerg versus Zerg finals. Who'd have thunk it?
It's crazy.
I find this especially interesting because yesterday we had a TVT final, so 2 mirror matches for 2 different regions of 2 different races. I'm getting the StarCraft nerd chills, man. Not like, oh my god, 47 Bailings on the field nerd chills, but like, it's cool to see that happen.
It is. Yes. And so far in this matchup, nobody doing anything too crazy. I'm sure that both players are so familiar with this map that they have all kinds of builds that they can do. Chators,
look at this. This is Nerchio doing the sexy thing I was talking about before, and I love that he does it. I mean, guys, for those who don't know, the reason this is so good to do is you put your queen right here. Only one Zergling and one Zergling from top and bottom can hit you at a time. That's a difference of 12 Zerglings to 2 that you have to fight at any given time. It's much better for your queen if you're on the defensive. And I'm curious. That awkward lull of a silence.
Yeah.
No, I'm curious here for chat, guys. I see a lot of people cheering for Nerchio. Let us know who you're looking to take this series home. I think a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, look, it's Nerchio. It's like the DreamHack champion. This guy's got this in the bag." But we've seen upsets in the past, completely unknowns knocking out really well-known players plenty of times here in ZOTAC. That is specifically why we choose ZOTAC, guys. You go for StarCraft, you go for the Injure Cup. Nothing against those tournaments, but there are a lot of 3-0, 2-0 sweeps. ZOTAC, I find, has a lot of ace matches, and that's why I love casting ZOTAC.
It's a big part of it. It makes it so much more interesting, honestly, when you go to that late game scenario and you get to see the whole metagame between 2 different players interact. Instead of playing just one game, they play an entire series and you get to see an overall theme. It's like music.
Yeah.
And I say that a little bit sarcastically, but honestly, I do feel that way.
Well, a really big thing here, too, to point out, before you get too far into this, guys, ZOTAC, we cast ZOTAC North America and Europe every single week, and I do encourage you, if you haven't seen them, go check out the past 2 weeks, specifically ZOTAC North American Finals. There's been a lot of crazy stuff happening that have gone to a lot of ace matches.
Best of 5, just trying to spread the word out there on the Twitters.
And no roar. This guy's worse than karaoke, I think, with the puns, Ord. I'm gonna read this one out because I like it so much. You know about the metagame? Of course. I never met a game I didn't like. That is British humor. Well, we're talking about like Doctor Who and all the other good stuff before that. That is British humor at its core, right there. Now we do have this massive Overlord highway going across the map, and I always sit here and I wonder, or like, how different would every other matchup be? I'm not even talking strictly mirror matchups, but if you could actually gain the same amount of vision that a Zerg versus Zerg allows, I mean, this is map hacks, basically, is what it comes down to for the first 9 minutes of the game.
It really does. It allows you to see everything that's going to happen towards you. I think TLO, honestly, is probably one of the most straight line. Like, he just creates all his overlords and says, alright, this is the line where I'm expecting people to come through, and I will see every part of that. Or I will use it as a creep highway myself.
Yeah, the creep highway, oh man. When players go for 2-base Roach with a full creep highway, is the sexiest thing to watch in a ZVZ.
It is. I really wish more players would like incorporate that into their playstyles, but not just like at the end of the game, but like in the middle or late game scenarios where you're like, all right, I need to get over there quickly. Like, you still have overlords, you can still do it. You rarely see that kind of thing though.
All right, well, I'm gonna just interrupt you, make a small joke about how Chators looking to maybe lose the game here. I say that kind of half sarcastically. He's making a ton of Banelings, but Nerchio is the last person in the world you can really all-in and bust like this. Like, Nerchio is the king of the Ling all-in.
Oh, some Banelings blowing up a little bit haphazardly there next to the Spine Crawler. So far, Chtors is just stringing
Oh my
in
god,
little
that is
by
so
little.
many Banelings.
Oh, so many Banelings are left here, and no more Spine Crawler. Queen is still alive. All the Banelings going to
Nerchio's got to spread. If he doesn't spread, he's going to lose every single drone.
Oh, and actually, decent spread. Loses 4 to that one there. Loses another, and oh god! Oh, okay, only one there. Actually,
Not too bad though. Look at the amount of workers lost compared to what he has in the field. 6 workers for almost 6 Banelings. That is a damn good trade. But okay, we got a lot more coming across the field, and Chtors, he doesn't have nearly as many Banelings as he once had, but Nerchio also doesn't have that spine. Oh my god, there we go. 12 Banelings on the way. This could be big, but Nerchio already being forced to use a couple of his Banes. Oh man, if he just settles in and waits, or look at this.
Oh, actually missed
not
a
good.
chance.
Not good. Yeah, he detonates 5 of them on 2. Not worth that trade.
Oh, and then loses the rest of those.
Oh, but he makes up for it!
Recovery.
The second round. A little too
Still 5
good.
Banelings left though. They can still do some damage. 2
Oh, he's
Queens
gotta spread
trying to
once
pick
again.
at him as much as they can. A couple. Oh, okay, that was. Never mind.
Still holding this beautifully is Nerchio. He's only down 2 workers, and look at the resources lost. Chtors is throwing so much away, and Nerchio is just defending like a champion.
Yeah, and our drone count actually is the same right now. And in fact, Nerchio just pulled ahead despite having lost some in these attacks. Oh, Baneling on Baneling. Nice trade there for Nerchio. But Chtors...
He's got to focus down these Banelings. He can't let them connect to anything. I mean, even the Spine Crawlers, these are so necessary. He can't afford to lose them. And Chtors, I mean, he's not exactly out of the game, but he's certainly behind by throwing away so much on Nerchio. Nerchio! Nerchio! Italia!
And, alright, Chtors looking for that third base, just trying to make sure that it didn't sneak in past him. He's staying active on this half of the map. Oh, and actually...
Not too bad.
Guys,
Not the best way to trade these Banelings out. He needs more. But holds positioning on the ramp. Now, Ord, I want to point out, this is how cool of a head Nerchio has. I think a lot of Zerg players right now would be panicking like crazy. Like, oh my god, so many Banelings, so many Zerglings. How do I control this? Where's my micro? But no. He's like, you know what? I got a Spire on the way. You failed with your all-in. I'm now going to just recover and slowly take the advantage in this game. Chtors now getting his hat trick just into a layer. But he's going to be behind at this point.
yeah, and oh, this one Zergling almost does manage to kill the drone that wanted to set up the third base. Nerchio, like you're saying, composed, just makes an assimilator, saves it, builds his hatchery right when he wants to, more or less. 11-16, alright, so later than he wanted to. But...
This is an intriguing choice for me coming out of Chtors. He's going for roaches behind this. He's even investing in +1, and he's doing this because he threw down some spores, feeling confident that spore crawlers will deter the mutalisks. And he's right. Spore crawlers will completely keep mutalisks out of the base now. Even low counts of spore crawlers because of how good they are. A full wall off of evolution champions as well, but ooh, no cancel.
Good idea. Took a moment too late on that third one, but the Banelings were there to plug the hole if Nerchio had run in. Chtors now, though, is supply blocked. And he's got a while to wait before he's got those overlords coming out. That's rough for him, so he uses his money to get upgrades.
The problem is... Okay, Nerchio's not going to win at home with the Mutalisk, but that's not what he needs to do. He's going to win in the middle of the field with the Mutalisk against the Roaches and flood Lings into the main base. There's a lot of spores, but uh-oh, we got a... Oh my god, a Nidus is coming out of Chtors here. This is a really bold move, but not one that's going to work, not with Mutalisks on the field. And he has seen the Mutalisks too, he's putting down even more Spine Crawlers. Or this is... I mean, he can try and use this as a forward reinforcing point, but as long as Nerchio sees that, the Mutalisks will respond, the Niduses will be picked up before they can even complete.
How can Chtors do this on 2 bases? Like, that production tab was almost all the way across the page there, and he's still not setting up a third base, and not even looking like he's moving
not going to.
do it.
He recognizes, like, this is an intelligent choice. He recognizes, like, look, I can't recover, my opponent got stood up way before me, and I threw too much away in that early aggression. What can I do? Well, I gotta try and win the game. Because if he goes for the macro, he's just gonna lose. That's what that comes down to. But Nerchio also getting his own roaches, and I mean, this is weird because there's no good place on the map. Look at the map vision, look at the spread, and look at the control of Nerchio. Has he actually scouted the Nidus? He hasn't even scouted the Nidus. He doesn't know it's on the field, but he's got so much vision between the watchtowers and the overlords. There is literally nowhere that our blue Zerg player can throw down a Nidus that will be effective.
Maybe, possibly, while he's attacking for the reinforcement, but that's probably about the only thing he's going to really be able to do with it. He's now taking control of his Xel'Naga, yeah.
This is how smart Nerchio is. I was trying to figure out why he was spreading like crazy. He sees no third base. And at this point in the game, that really says one of two things, and that's either Nidus, which is currently happening, or an even weirder Ultralist build that just would not work. So Chtors is moving with the Queens. He's going to try and just use the Nidus as a reinforcement point, and that's a good idea. But I mean, look at the spread. There's no way for him to sneak one in, and sneaking one in is what he needs to do the most.
It's great to have all these little packs of units out there, as long as they don't get found out, and it doesn't look like Chtors is even thinking about that. Instead, he's making the slow trek across the map with these queens. It takes so long.
Nidus, I think his Nidus is just going to go down inside the third here. Yeah,
and now he's
muscles way
in, gets hugged up right on top of
But it's the fungal.
Those, but here comes Nerchio with that fungal. That makes a huge difference.
And Ling's hitting the Hydros from behind.
There. Queen's trying to get in. They are managing to get transfuses.
They needed to be forward for those transfuses. Nerchio just walking over the field right now. 157 supply to 94. Guys, like I said, I wasn't joking. Chtors was looking to lose that game with the all-in. GG is called.
Acer.Nerchio takes game number 1.